important. I mean, my wife and I get through at least 2 cups of the stuff a day, and for about, I think, 7 years, this little Miniso coffee maker has done superb service to us. As you can see, it's showing a bit of wear, but it has been used at least once a day, every day for the past 7 years, if you calculate on average. Most days twice a day, maybe sometimes even thrice a day. And well, it's still working, except it's a little slow. Now I suspect that the element that sits below the coffee pot there may be having a bit of scale or deposits from water. We do use purified water, but still it happens. So yeah, the old girl's been getting a bit slow and tired, so it's perhaps time for a well-deserved retirement. So what are we replacing it with? Well, let's find out. Here we go. With this Black Decker 12-cup programmable coffee maker, 900 watts. Now the Miniso one is actually 600 watts and says 5 cups, but well, I know that 5 cups, or rather 6 cups maximum if you really pour it, is 2 cups for my wife and I. So this 12-cup machine should ostensibly give us 4 cups of actual coffee based on the quantity that we drink. So if we have a look at the feature set, it's got, just waiting for my camera to focus, I'm using my other phone today, digital control, drip coffee, brew strength adjustment, and you can see 6 buttons on the machine if you have a look at it. Let's just turn the box around like that. Okay. Once again, function meets versatility, freshly brewed coffee. Now here's a little interesting thing for you. Is it Black Decker or Black Plus Decker? I mean, I've been brought up hearing it as Black Decker. I'm pretty sure it used to be Black Decker, but somewhere along the line they changed the end into a plus, I suppose. The back gives us a bit more about the features. LCD with digital control, 24-hour programming, brew strength for normal or strong coffee. Okay, I'm going to be trying both out. Removable filter and funnel. That's really good. Even the Miniso had that, because machines like this that force you to use a paper filter are basically garbage in my opinion. I don't want to be wasting money and time on paper filters. I prefer washable ones. 1.5 liter glass thingy. Okay, integrated cord storage. Not shooting in my usual office room, but in the dining room, because well, this thing is fairly large. So yeah, let's get into the unboxing. Right, so let's get into the unboxing, shall we? First things we've got here is a Black Decker warranty certificate, which okay, they have filled out, which is good because some places don't fill it out properly and just give it. Now this I purchased from DIMO Retail, one of the retail arm of one of the largest conglomerates in Sri Lanka, Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, and they are also well known for being the agents for Mercedes-Benz in Sri Lanka, Mercedes-Benz, Tata, Jeep and so on. In my line as an automotive journalist, I'm very well acquainted with the people at the car division, but the retail division not so much. I've patronized them a few times and always had good experiences. This, in the case of this, I purchased it online and it was delivered the very next day. So yeah, we've got the warranty card. We've got, this is the instruction manual. Black Decker. So there we are. It's Black Decker as per the website, but the logo says Black Plus Decker. So there we've solved a bit of a mystery. It is colloquially called Black Decker, but it's styled as Black Plus Decker. Even here it says your Black Plus Decker DC blah blah coffee maker, all that. You get all the parts there. I'm not going to bore you to death with this kind of thing too much. So let's unbox it and let's see how we're going to do this. I'm just going to lift it out like that. Hopefully nothing drops out. Get the box out of the way and get some of the other stuff on the table out of the way. This is the main dining table. And if you know anything about having kids, you'll know that your dining table and the rest of your house is always in a mess, more or less. But yeah, got the plug here. We've got a removable plastic protective shield. So there we are. Let's remove each side of the machine, these protective corrugated cardboard things. And yeah, not used to this camera angle, which is why I have to keep peeping up and looking at it. So we have got the glass container there, or carafe, which they call. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 12 cup. We've also got a helpful little measuring spoon. Now I usually measure my coffee by how I feel is the right amount. So I'm going to use that and see. Because let's see. Sometimes I get it too strong, sometimes I get it too weak. And finally, here is the machine itself. So you can see what it looks like. I'm going to tilt it up so you can see the controls and everything. We've got on-off, strength, delay brew, minute, program and hour. And I got to say the buttons have a very solid clicky feel to them. In fact, the entire machine has a fairly sturdy feel to it, despite being mostly made of plastic. And if you open it there, we can see, yes, this is the removable filter, which is very good to have. So that removes like that, and then this, the filter goes into, removes like that. Once again, apologies for the wonky camera. Not used to presenting like this, where the camera is literally above my head and I'm peeping at it from time to time to see if I'm in the frame. But yeah, so that is your unboxing of this Black Decker, and I just realized I haven't told you the model number of this thing. Let's find out. What is the model number? DCM85. Yes, this is the Black Decker DCM85 12 cup coffee maker. So now the next thing we're going to do is plug it in and see what happens. Okay, and now comes a bit of a bittersweet moment, because, well, we have to retire the Miniso machine. There we are. Let's take it carefully. It's still in working order, you see. So I might clean it up and refurbish it a bit for temporary or occasional use. But for now, let's place our new coffee maker in its position, and let's plug it in. Switch on the power for the first time. Okay, and the clock is blinking now. It's saying AM 12 o'clock. Okay, so let me just press those buttons a little bit. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. The time is 4:45 PM. So I'm going to press the minute button now. Press and hold it down like that. Okay, keep going to 4:45. It'll be 4:46 by now. Okay, there we are. The clock has been set. And now I'm actually going to read the manual and see what it says, because I know it's a nice thing to say, I'm a man, I don't need to read the manual. But then let me tell you something, where when we had a vacuum cleaner, I didn't read the manual, and for 5 years we used it without realizing that it had a speed control. So yeah, read the manual. Let's see what it says here. Okay, that's after use. Before first use, okay. Do not use without reservoir filled, okay. Fill water into water tank to the max level and brew for several times without coffee powder. Then discard the water. Okay, that seems to be fairly reasonable. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to fill some water. Right, I've got my trusty water jug of purified water there. Let's open the top and let's start filling. Here we go. Are you ready? Well, I know I am. Well, that's a lot of water. That's good though. And I just noticed that there are drain holes here and here. So if you overfill, it'll just spill the water out onto your countertop. So let's close that. Let's move the machine back again where it belongs. Press the on-off button. And now let's see what's happening. I can already hear water being boiled in it. Should I press the strength button? No, I don't need to. And yes, I don't know if you can hear that, but well, it is starting to heat the water up. And on the video you might be seeing the on-off button blinking, but it's actually not blinking. I'm just going to hit the strength button there. You can see that also. I mean, that blinking is just a result of the camera's frame rate. So you can see that the water container has already become misty because boiling water is being sent into it from the machine. So basically the machine is percolating, or rather it's doing its first ever use. And I'm supposed to do this a few times, which I will. And then after that, let's brew ourselves some coffee. Right, so it's morning, first coffee brew time. I've filled with water up to about 4 and a bit cups, because that will fill both these cups. I've put 5 teaspoons of coffee. Well, I didn't go to use this thing because I'm used to using teaspoons, so figured I'd go with that. I have tamped it down a bit. Need to get a tamper for that to pack the coffee properly. Let's close this. Let's switch it on. And let's go for strength. Let's see what happens now. Once again, yes, don't mind the blinking. You can already hear it starting. can see coffee, rich coffee coming in. Right, let's return when it's finished brewing. So I started at 7:21, or rather it started brewing 7:29 now, and I heard the thermal cutoff switch off and the steaming has stopped. Let's see, is it finished? Well, yep, it appears to have extracted the coffee from that. Let's take the coffee pot and let's pour some coffee. Apologies for the handheld camera work. Let's see if the quantity is enough for both cups that we typically use. There we go. Yep, more than enough. So just about in line with what I'm used to from the old coffee maker. I'm just going to put all those things back in there and switch off the machine. I'll clean all that up later. But there you are. In under 10 minutes we've got our coffees. How does it taste? Let's find out. Very nice. It's come out very well, just like it used to come up with the other machine, which is good. Next up, we must have a look at how the timer function works. That will be in the next segment of this video. Right, so let's try a programmed brew. So I think the way we do this is you press the program button. Now it's 3:25, so we are going to give it at 3:30. So let's press that. If I had to name a quibble with this thing, it's that when you hold the button down, it doesn't seem to really advance. You have to keep pressing it every time. So let's go for 3:30. Okay, and press program again. It's 3:29, so that means it's going to start soon. Let me show you. The coffee powder is there. I put a very little bit of water simply because I'm only brewing for myself. It's 3:29. Timer is set for 3:30. So in the meantime, while we wait for it to brew, let me show you the coffee that I use, which is Pester coffee. I'm using their roasted Robusta coffee beans, which I grind with this, my trusty Black Decker coffee and spice grinder. Now this is something my parents bought for me from a trip to Canada last year, which is why it's 110 volts, but you can easily get step down transformers, and it's a pretty nifty thing. I mean, I think this was sold in Sri Lanka last year, but it's now out of stock. So yeah, I'm really glad I got this, even though it needs a transformer, which I have anyway, so I have several. But yeah, the Pester coffee is pretty nice. It comes from, let's have a look. It's grown in Sri Lanka, and I get it from these guys, GKUC Spicy Port in Galigamoa town. They send it to me by courier. Really, really good there, I've got to say, and I'm very, very happy with the way things have gone. So, okay, let's see. Have I done it wrong? Because the time is 3:30, but the coffee maker doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, let's press the program button again. Yes, so it says 3:30 is flashing. So why aren't you starting? Okay, maybe let's put it like that and say press the on off maybe. Ah, right. I see what I have done wrong. So I should have to press the on off button as well. You can see. Ah no, it's starting. Okay, well, that first round didn't go so well. I shall have to read the manual and see how to do this. So yeah, there's a top tip for you. Always read the manual. It's round 2 of trying to figure out how to work the timer on this, and I think I've done it. Well, I had a successful run this morning, so here we go. I've filled it with freshly ground coffee powder. We've got the water level right there. So what we are supposed to do is press program, and then I'm going to set it for 2 p.m. It's about 1:40 almost now, 2 p.m. And then you're supposed to, set the strength and say delay brew. Actually, program 2 p.m. delay brew, then that turns green, and press strength to say I want strong coffee. So it's 1:42. The timer is set for 2 p.m. Let's see what happens. We will return at 2 p.m. Here we are. It's 1:59 now. Remember, I set the machine to start brewing at 2 p.m. So it's 2 p.m. The light turned red. And let's listen. Hear anything happening? Yes, I do. There we go. You can hear the machine has started to brew. You can hear it percolating. You can see the lights are lighting. They are not blinking as in the video. I don't know why the blinking is showing given I'm recording at 60 FPS and my current voltage in Sri Lanka is 50 Hertz. So, oh well, that's okay I guess. But they are steady and the machine is percolating. So there we are. You can see how the timer operation is done. And of course the strength key is also pressed because I prefer the coffee to be strong. And finally, if you're wondering how do you clean the machine after done, well, what you do is those two containers at the top over there which you saw the coffee in, you just rinse them with plain water. I don't go to use soap or anything on them. I just rinse them as much as possible with plain water. As for the coffee pot or carafe or whatever it's called, I wait until that is fully cooled down before I wash it once again with water, and that I use a bit of dish soap. Reason I wouldn't do it when it's hot is because of the thermal shock of cold water on a hot piece of glass which can shatter the glass. That's generally good practice when dealing with any glass item in your house that gets hot and needs to be cleaned with cold water. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Black Decker 12 cup programmable coffee maker. If you did, well, drop me a like, give me a comment, and last but not least, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks and have